Coming here was obviously something that I believe now was meant to be for me, but never something that I intended to look for. When I was offered the job as a tutor, I jumped at the chance to have a go and see if I was able to do so. A big turning point for me was that I was looking after an 18-year-old young man who hadn't been in education for 10 years. It was a huge eye-opener into the world of SEN children. So I took the stance of using my own personality to work with him, and through various conversations it was very, very difficult to get him to engage initially. It was one particular conversation that I had with Mum where we were discussing their last trip to the cinema, and he'd been to see a Marvel movie. I was discussing with Mum just very candidly that I prefer the comic adaptations, and from that conversation this young man sort of triggered into life, and we managed to form a connection, because it turned out from that point that he was a huge superhero fan, loved comic books. So that was my light bulb moment, and we used that to get him working on his English. Based on me utilising his love of comic books, we managed to get him reading and writing, and he managed to write his first ever Christmas card to his mum that Christmas, which was an amazing feeling at that point, and worked for EM Tuition as a contracts manager. And I thought, well, that might be a nice stepping stone for me, because I've already got a taste for wanting to be an advocate for these young people. If I can then go on to maybe look at it in a more detailed aspect and what goes on in the background, and have an understanding as to what goes on in the management side of things, I get to get my hands in with what goes on with the social working side of things, and see if there's room there for me to try and make some sort of changes and get involved. So that's where I am currently. I'm very, very passionate about what I do. I hope that I can continue to do what I feel is making a difference for these youngsters, but I also feel quite passionate about working alongside the tutors and making sure that they feel like they're part of the bigger picture, really. So that's where my mindset is the majority of the time, and I hope that this is just the beginning of a long and productive journey, really, to help these youngsters and the tutors get what we want out of this provision and making a difference and some change.